How to get the best car price for either new or used cars. We first produced this video in the summer of 2024, and after doing a ton of car deals for our fans, we decided it was time for an update. As we did in the previous show, we start today by talking about how you can avoid negotiating your next car deal. And yes, if you're not a skilled negotiator, you really should avoid negotiating. Sounds a bit counterintuitive, right? But that's what we're going to do for you today. Next, we move on to 6 key steps that you need to get right or you'll lose on your next trip to a dealership. Hi, I'm Kevin Hunter, known for the last 15 years as the Homework Guy, and I'm really proud to say our channel has become the most trusted voice when it comes to car buying advice. At the outset of this video, we are assuming that you've already done your research and narrowed your choice of vehicles down to 1 or 2 specific models and are very close to making a purchase, other than maybe needing to do a little groundwork first. The amazing Elizabeth joins me now to cover these all-important steps.
The process we're outlining here works best if you give yourself at least 7 to 10 days to go through all the steps. This is to make sure there's enough time to compare all your prices.
If at any point in this process this just seems like way too much work for you to do just to get a good deal, you know you can always hire the most talented car buying service team to do it all for you, hassle-free. It's the best deal available on the market with the best average payback and savings, an average of 4.3 times. Every step that we're talking about here today, our team of coaches here at the Homework Guy team does every one of them for you. They can even contact as many as 30 dealers in extreme cases to get the best possible deal for you. For more information, see our hassle-free car buying service available on our website, thehomeworkguy.com. The payback is so good and it's earned in a few different ways. Part of the savings comes in the form of a discount off the sales price, but there's another big chunk of savings that happens as a result of shaving off dealer fees and add-ons that dealers are so famous for adding to their car deals. That number is generally around $3,000 on average. Okay, moving on. By now you should have already done your test drives and you know the exact trim, colors, and options that you want. If you're not at this stage yet with either a new or used car, don't worry, you'll still get plenty of useful information from watching this video to help you nail it down. The further ahead you have the information you need, the more time you'll have to prepare and comparison shop every portion of your car deal.
Unfortunately, most car shoppers make a critical mistake that costs them thousands of dollars in the end. The problem is that most car buyers have tunnel vision when it comes to getting a great deal for themselves. They focus only on the price of the vehicle, leading them to ignore other areas such as their financing costs, dealer fees and add-ons, their trade-in, and even the cost of car insurance.
Absolutely.
One of our main objectives is to get you to see that buying a car is way more than just negotiating the price. Some of you will be surprised when I say, for many people, getting past the negotiating part is actually the easy part. And don't worry, we're going to show you exactly how to make it easy for you. By following our OTD process that we recently updated on this show titled OTD Negotiation Hack, and then by doing the necessary homework, you can easily get the best price available, and in the process you can cut out tons of back-end dealer finance fees and add-ons.
Now, for those of you who really don't like to negotiate, here's a major secret for negotiating the lowest price possible. The secret can be summed up in just 2 words. Don't negotiate.
Don't negotiate.
That's right. Avoid negotiating entirely. Sounds counterintuitive, as I said in the beginning, doesn't it? But it's actually very simple. By following this process, you're going to let the dealers do the work for you. The golden rule you need to follow is to get OTD prices from at least 7 or 8 different dealers. You just need to do enough work. That's all. I didn't say try to get 7 or 8 quotes. I said actually get them. Since half of dealers don't respond, you'll have to contact at least 15 dealers to get this information. Sound too tough to do? Well, that's exactly what our team of coaches do. If you don't get the price you need with this many attempts, look even further. As many of you are aware, we do offer hassle-free car buying service, and despite our terrific skills that we have on our team, sometimes we have to contact as many as 30 dealers for some of the car deals that we get. In some extreme cases, it could be even more. Notice how I didn't say start negotiating prices at this point. I said collect prices. There's a major distinction. That's all. Collect prices. Most dealers will offer you deeply discounted prices with zero negotiation as long as 2 things are clearly communicated. 1, they must know that you're getting prices from their competition, and 2, you only contact them online or via phone.
Whatever you do at this point, do not go into the dealership. Never collect pricing info in person. That technique died when the pandemic hit. You should never leave discussions about pricing to a later time when you're physically at a dealership. That's way too late in the process, and you'll pay big if you do that way.
Big time. The bottom line is that more dealers you collect prices from while you're relaxing in the comfort of your home, the better your chance of landing an incredible deal is. It only takes a little time and effort on your part to do this, and it can be worth thousands of dollars.
When I've done direct price negotiations on behalf of car buyers, especially in recent years, I've often received similar prices from the first 3 to 5 dealers I contacted, and it wasn't until I got the 6th or 7th response that I would receive a bid undercutting the competition, and often by a large margin, sometimes as much as $1,500. But as I talked to each new dealer, I said, "Thanks for the info. I want you to know I already have prices from 5 other dealers, and nobody has earned my business yet." That incentivizes the dealer I'm talking to dig even deeper.
We say it all the time. Use the word earn when you talk about doing business with dealers. Say, I've received pricing from 5 other dealers, but I'm still looking for a dealer who wants to earn my business. It works like magic.
The lesson here is this. Don't be discouraged if you get similar pricing from the first few dealers you contact. It could be that there's just not a hungry dealer in the bunch. Unfortunately, most car shoppers will usually stop looking after contacting only 3 or 4 dealers, and that's definitely not going to cut it. Getting price quotes from at least 7 or 8 dealers is what I found to be the magic number.
As I said earlier, in order to actually collect 7 or 8 different prices, you're going to have to contact way more than 7 or 8 dealers.
Right.
It will be more like 15 dealers. Count on only half of them getting back to you, and it's most likely they don't respond because they're not price competitive, or it's possible they don't even have the car. Don't let that discourage you because they were definitely a dealer who wouldn't have given you the deal you were looking for anyway. I need to add this right here. If one of the dealers gives you a price quote that seems just way too good to be true, we're talking about thousands of dollars lower than any other dealer. This could potentially be a dealer trying to scam you. This could be a setup, otherwise known as a bait and switch. If you suspect this might be the case, ask the dealer for additional pictures of the vehicle that aren't already on their website. If they can't produce the pictures, they aren't likely to have the car, so you should stop contacting them. Another common situation is where the dealer is quoting you a price based on rebates or other incentives you don't actually qualify for. Some dealers include what's known as qualified rebates into the price, such as rebates reserved for military or college grads, and often can't be used at the same time. The dealer knows it's shady to do this, but a lot of people see the low price and get enticed. Make sure to ask if the price includes qualified rebates.
For any doubters out there, let's talk about why this non-negotiation technique actually works. Car dealers don't want you to figure out that cars are just commodities. A brand new Toyota Camry being sold in New York is essentially the same as a new Camry sold in California. If you're in any market where 7 merchants are selling the exact same product, it would be foolish to buy from the first one you came across without knowing what the others are willing to sell it for. It's exactly the same situation here with vehicles. Why would you get pricing from just 1 or 2 dealers when the exact same product is being sold at dozens of other locations at varying prices?
Catching the right dealer at the right time is also key to your success. Car dealers will sell you a vehicle even below cost if you catch them at the right time. It may be because they're trying to meet a monthly sales quota and only need 1 or 2 more sales to do it, or perhaps the car has been sitting on their lot for too long and needs to go.
Sure.
Time and inventory does matter. If you happen to contact the dealer during one of these times, you're going to land a great deal without much effort on your part, guaranteed. By casting your net far and wide, your chances of finding one of these buying opportunities increases dramatically. By the way, our car coaches have access to all this kind of information, which is one of the reasons they know the best time to exploit a dealer's vulnerability.
All right, as promised, here are the 6 exact steps to follow. Step number 1, gather automated price bids first. Everyone is looking for a quick and easy way to get a good deal. Unfortunately, it does take work and effort to guarantee the best price, but the first step is so simple and it will take you 80% of the way towards your goal of getting the lowest price on your next car. Included in this video are some top recommendations for automated price quotes. Unfortunately, many car shoppers will stop after this first step because the rest of the steps require manual work and can take a few hours to complete. This is fine if you just want a fair deal and are not willing to spend a lot of time to get it. However, if you want the guaranteed best price on your next car, you need to complete all the steps that we're outlining here today.
Start with TrueCar.com. TrueCar is one of the few car price quote services that we do recommend using. We have covered them before, but a lot has changed since that video. TrueCar does provide good upfront prices because most of the time, so much that dealers started a backlash against the service, pressuring state legislatures to outlaw it. They were afraid TrueCar was going to take all the profit out of their cars. Anything that gets dealers this upset is definitely a good sign for car shoppers.
Right.
To see the TrueCar price, which is free, you'll need to select a vehicle you want, then click on the button that says See Actual Pricing. You then fill out your information to see which dealers are offering discounted prices through TrueCar.
Next up is Cars Direct, which is another reputable free service that's been around for decades and has a large network of dealers ready to provide price quotes. We will link both of these in the description box below.
This next step is the undoing for many of you. It's the manual time-consuming work you must do for that elusive best car deal. The next step is to manually locate all nearby dealerships. While the online price quote services can save you time and money, it's not guaranteed that all dealers in your local area are participating. Perhaps they didn't pay to be on the national sites, but it doesn't mean that they don't have some good deals to offer. You want to make sure you have at least 7 price offers from different dealers, right? These will include some manually collected prices. This means you'll need to locate and contact additional dealers near you, and in a moment we'll show you exactly how to do it and what to say. Depending on where you live, you may only have 1 or 2 dealers within an hour's drive, so you're going to have to increase the distance until you go to a list of at least 15 dealers to contact. Yes, some of those dealers may be hundreds of miles away, but if you still want to get prices for the purpose of leverage against your local dealers, you're going to have to do this. You can find each dealer's contact info by doing a Google search and starting with the brand of the car, plus a dealer name like this example, Toyota dealer near me. You can also visit manufacturer sites and look for links that say, find a dealer, or locate dealership. They're easy to find that way.
Step number 3, here's where the rubber hits the road. You'll need to get price bids from remaining dealers. Up until now, we've given you the low-hanging fruit. It's quite possible the best deal may end up being through an automated service like TrueCar, but if you want to be positive that you're maximizing savings, you need to do a little bit more work. You're going to have to contact the remaining dealers the old-fashioned way.
You should have printed a list of all relevant dealers near your location. Now's the time to start checking the TrueCar dealers off of that list. See which ones responded and make note of their price bids. As for the rest, you're going to have to manually collect them until you have a total of at least 7 or 8 different prices. Start with the dealerships closest to you and work your way out from there. We recommend calling all dealerships within 200 miles. If the list is extremely long, then call only the dealers that have a large inventory of vehicles. All you need to do is call and ask for the internet sales manager or another member of the management team. These types of salespeople typically offer the best deals. If the dealership doesn't have an internet manager, just ask for a fleet manager instead. Both of them are far kinder to customers than a salesman working the floor. The goal of each call is to get the internet manager to email you their best price on the model you want. You want to get the process going via email because there's going to be some back and forth, and you don't want to be playing phone tag with them. The call should be quick and easy, and don't try to get pricing over the phone. You'll just end up playing a lot of phone tag. Here's how a conversation should go. Hello, I'd like to speak to the internet sales manager.
Hold, please. Hello, how can I help you?
Hi, I'm interested in your stock number 42867B. Can you send someone out to put their hands on this vehicle and verify that it's there? I'm looking to purchase this month, and I'd like to get your best price on this vehicle.
At this point, they will want your email and or phone number so they can get back to you. This is fine. Give them your contact information. After they have confirmed the car is there, you finish up by saying,
I'd like you to quote me your best out-the-door price, including taxes and all fees. My zip code is 58801, so you can calculate the taxes. Of course, use your own zip code. I'm going to be busy for the rest of the day, and I prefer that you email or text me the quote. Also, let me grab your email in case I don't hear back from you.
So the goal is to open communication with someone at the dealer, give them the vehicle you're interested in, and ask them to give you that out-the-door price via email or text. That's all there is to it. Most will abide with this without any fuss. Every so often you'll get one that will try to ask you unrelated questions or just get you to come to the dealership. Just tell them you're short on time and you just want everything done through email or text to get started. Make sure you jot down the following for each dealership that you contact: the dealership's name, the name of the internet manager or the staff member that you chose to talk to, their phone number and email address. It's best if you keep track of everything on a spreadsheet so you don't lose track of important details. Otherwise, it can get confusing pretty quickly with all the different vehicles, prices, colors, and all the details to keep track of, plus all the back and forth that you'll have on pricing.
When calling the majority of dealerships, there's no need for you to be anxious or nervous about it. From our experience, most internet managers and other members of the management team will not try to use high-pressure sales tactics on you. For the most part, they're professional and realize from your phone contact that you're an informed consumer.
Pro tip right here: the best time to make these calls is near the end of the month when dealers are trying to meet their sales quotas. Don't wait till the very last minute of the last day. You need to give the process a few days to finalize. The best days are actually Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays when dealerships are a little bit less busy.
Step number 4, it's time now to follow up with dealerships. For the dealerships that you had to manually contact, you should start receiving responses the same day, at least from dealers who have a good follow-up process in place. But like all of us, they do make some mistakes or get a little lazy in the process. Some get busy and forget to send you a price. In fact, about half the time you may not receive a bid at all. You should follow up with the ones who don't send you an OTD bid. It doesn't mean they won't give you a good deal. A likely reason is they simply forgot or maybe thought you weren't a serious buyer.
In addition to not receiving bids from some dealers, you will often receive bids with missing or incomplete information. Sometimes they will just send an out-the-door price without any other information. Sometimes they will only quote you a price without MSRP or other details. You'll need to standardize their bids so that you can compare them fairly. If it's not provided, follow up and let them know that you need more clarification of the details on their bid. They will usually respond accordingly, and it can take a bit of prodding sometimes.
And if they tell you that we can't do this, you can say, well, interesting, but I have this response from 5 other dealers. All right, step number 5, don't forget to give dealers a chance to beat the lowest bid. After you receive at least 7 price bids, including the automated ones that you got through Cars Direct or TrueCar.com, compare and determine which dealer offered the best deal. First, see who offered the lowest price. Then look at the additional fees, such as dock fee that they might expect you to pay for at that dealer. Add it all up and figure out who offered the lowest price overall after taking into account all the additional fees. Keep in mind that some dealerships will charge a different amount for dock fees or other fees. It depends on the state that you're shopping in. You need to take this into account when determining who offered the best price.
After determining the lowest overall price, you need to contact each internet manager and offer them a chance to beat it. Start with the worst bid and work your way down. Each phone call or email will have to be customized to that specific dealer to take into account the different fees that you may have encountered.
Here's a juicy tip you can offer each dealer as an incentive to lower their bid. The incentive is that you are going to promise to give them a 100% rating on the customer satisfaction survey you'll receive after purchasing. The survey sent to each car buyer by the manufacturer. It's their way of keeping tabs on dealerships and determining which dealerships are treating their customers right. And believe me, those dealers need those reviews done.
Yep.
Customer satisfaction surveys are very important to dealers and can result in large bonuses for each car they sell as long as the ratings are good.
Another motivational incentive you can offer is the promise to service your car at their dealership after the sale. Car dealers make a large bulk of their profit on parts and services, so this is a great incentive for them. To keep things fair, only promise this if you really do intend to service your car at that dealership. Obviously, no one will believe you if you live 100 miles away. It's best to call each internet manager starting with the highest bid and see if they will beat the lowest price. This way, when one does offer a lower bid, the next call you make will include this lower bid, and so on. And if you really don't like calling, an email will still be effective. It will just take a little longer.
Next, number 6, you'll finalize the deal in writing and make arrangements to pick up your car. By now, you should have your lowest price, so call or email the dealership and get everything in writing before you actually go to the dealer. Never get sucked into going there before it's all in writing. Do not go to the dealership without having it printed out and holding it in your hot, sweaty hand.
That's right. Sometimes you'll get a dealer who places the low bid just to trick you into coming into the dealership. When you get there, they'll come up with some story about how the car you wanted is no longer available. They'll try to sell you another car at a higher profit, banking on the fact that since you're already here at their dealership, it'll be too much hassle for you to walk out and go home.
What you're going to request from the lowest bidder is a signed purchase order detailing everything you agreed to. This should include the VIN or vehicle identification number, the MSRP, invoice price, all additional fees including tax, title, registration, and doc fee, plus the final OTD out the door price. Go to the dealership with a printout of the deal, sign the paperwork, pay, and you're on your way home with a new car knowing that you got a great deal. If the dealer is less than 50 miles away, you can even request that they deliver the vehicle with the paperwork to you. This makes the process even more convenient, and better yet, you don't have to deal with the finance manager.
If for some reason the dealer comes up with an excuse why they can't sell you the car, even with written proof, explain that you're not there to play games. If they are not willing to give you the deal they promised, be willing to walk away and let them know that you will be posting negative reviews about your experience online and will be filing a complaint with your state attorney general's office. If that doesn't jolt them into completing the deal, still walk away and choose the next lowest bidder on your list.
Negotiating with out-the-door price, the ultimate car dealership kryptonite. In this show, you'll more fully understand why negotiating with out-the-door pricing at car dealerships is so killer good. Today, we're revisiting the OTD negotiation hack in more detail to help you all get a better car deal. Our car coaches use this strategy very effectively, so this is not a guess that we're making. We are in fact using it constantly against dealers with both new and used cars all over the U.S. with great success. So we know for sure that it totally works. Stick with us and you can negotiate like a pro too. Because many car buyers in our audience are still not getting how to effectively implement the OTD method, we're here today to show you more how to get the job done. Hi, I'm Kevin Hunter, known in the automotive world for the last 15 years as the homework guy, and over that time, our show has become the most trusted on this platform for quality car buying advice. Why? Because we never engage in clickbait titles you see on two other content creators like Ram is discounting vehicles 60% or the car market is crashing. Two titles that are commonly used by these two YouTubers who collaborate on fake news and clickbait titles. The Homework Guy Show is as real as it gets. We're covering OTD negotiations more thoroughly today because written out-the-door OTD offers are one of the best tools for negotiating a car deal in the current car market. They simplify the process, eliminate surprises, and provide clear leverage. If you don't have luck using this strategy, you're running into a dead end, or just find it too difficult to navigate, consider hiring our highly effective team of car coaches to step in and help you out. You can read all about our hassle-free car buying service at thehomeworkguy.com, or you can text Liz today at 701-441-3399 and ask how you can get started with our help. Joining me now to talk about how to get OTD offers and then how to use them wisely is none other than the amazing Elizabeth.
Thanks, Kevin. First, let's talk about how to use written out-the-door offers to save thousands on your next car. When it comes to negotiating a car deal, the biggest mistake that most buyers make is focusing only on the price of the car.
Don't do that.
That's a major mistake because there's a lot more to car buying these days than just the price of the car. Dealers thrive on confusion, adding extra fees and add-on charges that inflate your total cost without you even realizing it sometimes. That's why asking for a written out-the-door OTD offer upfront is one of the smartest strategies you can use. But getting the proper response is largely dependent on how you start the conversation, who you ask for, and what you say on the first dealer contact. But taking the time to do this right is very important because an OTD offer gives you several advantages, which include the full all-in cost of the vehicle, including the price of the car, taxes, title, registration, and every other fee or add-on the dealer has, leaving no room for surprises later.
But the key is knowing how to get OTD offers and then how to effectively use them is where the real magic happens. In this show, we're taking the time to walk you through the exact steps, how to request OTD offers from dealers and explain how to leverage them to negotiate the best possible OTD price. By the end, you'll have the tools to take control of the car buying process in ways you never thought possible. You can avoid the common pitfalls and save yourself thousands of dollars in the process.
We'll get into all the points of why OTDs are so valuable, but first we're going to cover how that first contact should go with a dealer prospect. Number 1, start the process by using one of the common car search tools available to consumers to find your vehicle options. If you don't have access to higher powered search tools, using TrueCar.com or CarGurus.com can be very smart. Just be aware that some local dealers in your specific market may not have paid to have their cars listed on either of those national sites, so you won't actually find their cars there. To see local options, you'll have to take the time to search for dealers in your immediate zip code and then comb through their individual websites.
When you find vehicles you like, write down the dealer contact information like phone number and email and the stock number of the vehicle you're interested in. This is key information, so don't forget to write it down.
Number 3, make a spreadsheet to track all this information, as it will be too hard to keep track of where things are at, and if you don't, you may miss some good opportunities.
Number 4, now that you're ready, start making phone calls. I like to ask for a new car manager or the used car manager, depending upon if it's new or used that I'm looking at. I do have the confidence to speak to dealer management, and I find it goes much faster too. I'm going to give you a commonly used phrase in the car business that you need to remember. Write it down. It's commonly known as putting hands on the vehicle or physically checking to see if a car is there. I avoid any small talk in that initial contact and go straight to my reason for calling. Because I'm talking to a manager and I know they have staff working for them, I say, I'm calling about stock number 37829B or whatever the stock number is. I have it written down on my spreadsheet right in front of me on the computer. Can you send somebody out to put hands on this vehicle to verify that it's on the lot? Notice I said have somebody put hands on that vehicle to verify it's there. Now, why do I make this request? For several reasons. A, he knows I know the car business because of this request. B, he knows he has a serious motivated buyer on the line and it makes him more interested in helping me out. C, I'm making sure the vehicle is there so I'm not wasting time negotiating on a vehicle that doesn't exist. And D, I'm the one driving the conversation and now he's taking orders from me. I give him my name and contact number in case it didn't pop up on his phone. I ask him to call me back with the info I requested.
Number 5, when the car manager calls you back, you want to stay in control of the direction things are going in, so you thank him for his efforts and take control again. You do this by saying, thank you very much for doing that, so here's what's next. I'd like you to send me an OTD write-up on this vehicle. Do you prefer email or text? If he wants my email, I give it to him, and then I add, I want everything included. What you expect to be paid for the vehicle and anything extra. Detail it all out, and I will get back to you shortly. And then I hang up.
Number 6, when you get the written OTD, it's time to counter offer it. Let's say the vehicle price is $30,000, but the write-up includes $19.95 for paint protection, $9.99 in document fees. This leaves a taxable amount of $32,994. This is an important total to have in your mind because when you fix this with a counter offer, you're going to need to subtract out excess sales tax too. I'm going to use 6.87% sales tax in this example, so sales tax adds up to $2266.68. Let's say now that the OTD offer is $35,685.95 because there's also $425.27 in title and license fees. I'm going to pull out the unnecessary fees, the $19.95 and the $9.99, recalculate the sales tax, and send back a revised OTD counter offer. My revised OTD looks like this. No details provided. I just subtract $205 in excess sales tax because the dealer fees were taxed. A revised OTD counter offer of $32,486. Now, how did I come up with that? I took $30,000 times 6.8% sales tax and came up with $2,061 in revised sales tax total. I put back in the $425.27 in title and license fees and came up with a clean deal totaling $32,486. There's something very important to know about this counter offer. It's very reasonable. I validated the offering price of $30,000 with our internal black book services and then did the math. Any reasonable dealer will have a hard time saying no to this.
Number 7, wait for a response on your counter offer. If the dealer gets back to you and says, okay, you need to immediately say, Revise your initial OTD offer so it totals out the same as my counter offer and resend it to me in writing. At this time, if the customer isn't me, I will say, put the customer name Kathy on the revised OTD. I'm working on this on behalf of a friend. If you are a fan in our audience, you'd better believe that we regard you as our friend.
Dang right you are. Number 8, what if the counter offer from the dealer comes back higher than what you asked for? Simply put, I have to ask myself, am I willing to pay a few more bucks to get the car that I want? The dealer is working with me, so maybe I should go for it, but also use some of the other offers that I got and do some comparisons.
Now let's hit on the benefits of the OTD price and why we are so adamant about it. Number 1, OTD price gives clear total cost. An OTD offer includes everything: the price of the car, taxes, registration, title fees, and any other charges the dealer is adding. This ensures there are no hidden or surprise fees when you're finalizing your deal. And this is why it's powerful. It helps you understand the real cost of the car and prevents the dealer from sneaking in fake fees or last-minute markups.
Number 2, it's easy to compare between dealers. Having OTD offers from multiple dealerships allows you to directly compare the total cost rather than trying to decipher different pricing structures. Example, one dealer might quote a lower car price but add excessive fees.
Right.
So here's why this is powerful. It creates a competitive environment where dealers know they have to give you their best deal up front if they want your business.
Number 3, OTD prices eliminate pricing confusion. Verbal offers can be vague or changed during the negotiation process. A written OTD offer legally locks a dealership into a specific price and reduces the chance of miscommunication or bait-and-switch tactics. And that's powerful because you have the written power in your hands to hold the dealer accountable for what they sent you in writing. This is exactly how our car coaches get their work done.
Number 4, OTDs force transparency. Dealers hate OTD offers because they expose every fee they're charging. When you ask for an OTD price, it forces them to reveal all costs, including those junk fees the FTC talks about, and the dealer would rather you didn't notice.
Right.
Here's why it's powerful. It gives you the power to identify unnecessary charges and subtract them out, as I did in the example.
Number 5, it saves you a ton of time. By requesting an OTD offer up front, you avoid hours of back and forth negotiation. It's great. Dealers, and especially their managers, like Kevin said, will often cut to the chase and provide their most competitive price when they know that you're a serious buyer. And that's powerful because it simplifies the buying process and makes it less stressful and more efficient.
Number 6, it gives you a lot of leverage. When you have written OTD offers from competing dealerships, you can use them to negotiate a better deal. Dealers are more likely to match or beat a competitor's price to secure the sale. Now, this is powerful because you're not negotiating blindly. You have proof of better deals to back up your demands.
Number 7, OTD prices prevent last-minute add-ons. Nobody likes these kind of surprises. A written OTD offer means the dealer has committed to a specific price, reducing their ability to pressure you into extras, like extended warranties or service packages during the final paperwork stage. This is very powerful because it protects you from being upsold or caught off guard.
And number 8, it builds confidence. Having everything in writing gives you peace of mind, knowing you won't face any unexpected costs when it's time to sign the paperwork. It's powerful because it makes the entire car buying process more predictable and puts you in control.
By insisting on written OTD offers, you eliminate pricing confusion, maximize transparency, and put yourself in the driver's seat and the best position to secure a great car deal. It's a strategy that shifts the power dynamic from the dealer to you.
Some dealers you should leave or avoid altogether. Bad dealers unwittingly provide you with plenty of clues that tell you right away you need to get out of there. Or if you're still at home negotiating with them on your home turf where you should be, then you should just avoid them. Hi, I'm Kevin Hunter, the Homework Guy. Today we're talking about warning signs and red flags you hear about so often that when you see or hear them, you should immediately decide you're not doing business with the dealership you're talking to. In the end, we'll tell you about how you can skip all this nonsense and enjoy car buying again. Sound good? Joining me in studio to discuss this important topic is the always amazing Elizabeth. Liz, let's break down the signs that if you see them, you should run, not walk away from a bad car deal and a crooked car dealer.
Thanks, Kevin. Friends, as I coach car buyers who purchase our text consult package or our email help desk service, I often hear from people that a dealer in their area is refusing to do one thing or another. They ask, is this against the law? The answer is often yes. Today we're hitting on a number of red flags that you need to be aware of, and yes, many are actually illegal. So here it is. Red flag number 1. The dealer won't give you an OTD price. That's the out-the-door price. This is not illegal, but it's very stupid. In today's post-pandemic era of the car market, literally every dealer should be more than happy to comply with your request for an out-the-door price, otherwise known as OTD.
They should be more than happy to give that.
Any dealer who fails to respond or says they can't send you the information you're requesting, regardless of what the excuse is that they offer, they should be avoided. If you're a DIY, do-it-yourself type car buyer and you want some free help, find our OTD email templates on our website. They're found in our pull-down menu for your convenience. By the way, no dealer our coaches negotiate with in our hassle-free car buying service will ever get away with refusing to negotiate using OTD pricing. We drop the idiots who refuse this like a hot potato because that's a deal killer for us.
Yes, leave immediately. If you want to avoid the kind of nonsense we're talking about from dealers who pull stunts like we'll mention here today, look up our hassle-free car buying service on our website, thehomeworkguy.com.
By the way, I'm so thankful for our hassle-free car buying service, and not just because it helps our viewers get great car deals, but our service gives us current involvement in car deals with dealers all around the country, and it provides us with first-hand proof that the methods we teach our viewers really do work. The bottom line is that when we see that it most definitely works for us, we know for certain that our techniques will work for you. You just have to be persistent like we are.
That's right. Moving on, red flag number 2, they say, just come on in.
Yeah.
Instead of the dealer sending you the OTD information in writing that you requested, they tell you, just come on in. We'll work out a deal, especially if you're in the early phases of car shopping and you're on the hunt for OTD prices. You should never, ever abandon the comfort of your home turf and waltz into a car dealership just because some dealer tries to derail your process by saying, just come on in.
Yep.
Stay on your comfy sofa with your laptop and refuse to get sucked into the come on in con game.
For sure. Red flag number 3. The price of the car sounds very low. We've talked about this before. If a deal sounds too good to be true, it usually is. If you've been shopping around for the vehicle you want and suddenly you come across one that's priced much lower than anything else you've found, there's always going to be a reason, and that reason could really cost you. Don't take this as a sign that you should stop looking and run to that dealership before the extra low-price car deal disappears. Bad dealers out there are playing games with pricing because they know people like you are searching for the lowest price of a car, so they will post a low price on the internet. Unfortunately, it's quite often a fake price. We'll go into a lot of detail on this in an upcoming show. The fake price is just as fake as a lot of the fake dealer fees we tell you about.
If you're feeling tempted to check out the low-price car you just found, your next step should be to find out why the price is so low in the first place.
Yeah.
It could be aged inventory, and you should know that new or used dealerships use their own criteria on what they consider to be an aged unit, so there's nothing standard there.
Yeah.
For any number of reasons, they feel they just need to get rid of it.
So the question is, has the car been damaged, or is it simply aged inventory that they want to dump? You can find out by getting a Carfax report. The Carfax will say when the vehicle came into inventory at the dealer, and I'm assuming you can do just a little basic math to figure it out.
Red flag number 4, no pricing on the website or no pricing on their cars. We've seen this plenty of times. If it says call for pricing or you have to put in contact information like your name, your cell phone number, and your email address, if you have to do all this just to see the pricing on the dealer's website, you should be backing away very quickly from this dealer. Don't ever do business with dealerships like that. Dealers who lack transparency in pricing are capable of all kinds of dirty tricks. If you talk to them, don't be surprised if they say something like this. Listen, we have this private sale going on and we're limiting the number of people we're talking. No dealer ever wants to limit the number of customers they have. This stunt is one of the oldest tricks in the dealer handbook on how to deceive customers. And they do it just to get your name and contact information.
Ew.
Plan on being heckled to death if you comply and give up your contact information.
Don't do it. Red flag number 5. We need a credit app before you can take a test drive. This is a big one. There are plenty of dealers who say, we need a credit application from you before you can test drive a car. They might even add, that way we can get you numbers and payment information while you're out driving. Don't let the convenience pitch get you sucked in.
Don't be a sucker for that. Just say, okay, we'll see you later, and then get out of there.
Leave, because this is an indication of a very underhanded process, friends, and you should know that they've prejudged you. Sadly, this happens all the time as car dealerships size up their customers and have preconceived ideas about your creditworthiness. No matter what your credit is, once they get their hooks into you by assuming the sale before you even return from your test drive, they are impossible to deal with. This is just the beginning of a very lengthy and slow process to take the most advantage of you during their car deal. Yes, I said their car deal because if you let them do this to you, they will treat you like it's their deal and not yours.
Red flag number 6, the dealer has a market adjustment or additional dealer markup, also known as an ADM fee on their cars. This was a very common practice during the pandemic when cars were in low supply, but that greedy stunt is most definitely dead. Dealers could get away with it during a car shortage, and many of them did, but if you're seeing this out there at a dealership in your community right now, please comment below and let us know who the little scoundrels are.
Red flag number 7, the dealership has lots of bad online reviews. Now, before you even waste your time attempting to open communication with a dealer, you should go check out their Google reviews.
Absolutely.
Reviews are not the be-all, end-all of dealer evaluation, and yes, they could be faked, but if you see a pattern of complaints, especially with issues like bait-and-switch tactics, deceptive advertising, or poor customer service, that's a huge warning sign.
Believe those guys.
Don't bother with dealers like that. True, no dealership is perfect, but if you're seeing a lot of negative feedback, it's probably best to steer clear.
Red flag number 8, addendums, otherwise known as the second price tag.
Right.
There are far too many dealers who are deploying a second price tag in the effort to force you into buying totally junk products. They will say, it's already installed and we can't take it off. Let me tell you this, if a dealer puts something on the vehicle that you want, and you definitely don't want what they put on it, not only should you be removing the charges, but you should be demanding a discount for them damaging the car with their junk products.
Yep.
This is 100% an example of tying the sale, which is clearly laid out as being illegal by the FTC. We hear about this kind of stuff happening all the time. For example, here's our viewer, Rob M., who writes, so I just got back from a Chevy dealership here in the west suburbs of Chicago. Sunrise Chevy in Glendale Heights, Illinois, has on every new car the second price tag. The good news is that you don't have to pay $500 for green valve stem covers. The bad news is you're paying $2,400 for rust proofing, $200 for door edge guards, and $300 for some add-on rear-end collision system. This dealer should change their name to Surprise Chevy. They are trying to force the sale of a rear-end collision system on you, and yet they're rear-ending you for almost $3,000 in extra charges. How
Ouch.
hilarious.
Oh boy, now for some red flags that show up a little later in the process. Red flag number 9, payment packing. I touched on this briefly earlier, but it deserves its own mention. This is a red flag that unfortunately shows up in the finance office late in the car buying process. When this happens, you're already in finance hoping to sign out on your car soon, and suddenly your loan just keeps getting fatter and fatter and the payments are getting bigger and bigger.
You're hearing this common bullshit statement. You'll need to protect your investment. If you're suddenly being pressured to buy extended warranties, gap insurance, or other additional services that you don't want or need, that's a clear red flag. You should be getting up and walking out of there.
You got it. Red flag number 10, inconsistent or confusing paperwork. If the paperwork is inconsistent or incomplete, or if the dealership keeps asking you to sign blank documents, just stop right there. This could happen in the finance office or even on the sales floor. This is one of the biggest red flags you can encounter. All the details should be clearly outlined, as you should have the opportunity and the time to review everything before signing anything. If something feels off or if they're rushing you through the paperwork, trust your gut and walk away.
Red flag number 11, tons of fake fees. If you haven't seen our video on 11 fake fees, make sure you see it before you visit a car dealer. That video was published back in 2019, but it's still relevant today. In fact, there's a lot of additional fees that they're charging now. Sadly, not only are dealers still charging all the fees that video mentions, but like I said, they've made up names for tons more.
Yep. Red flag number 12, pressure to do the deal right now. Dealers love to sit there and tell you, hey, listen, if you do this deal right now, do it by the end of the day or do it in the next 10 minutes. However desperate they are, they finish by saying, we'll do this price for you right here. But then they add, if you walk out of the dealership, the price is no longer valid. Outside of manufacturer rebates, which sometimes expire at the end of the month, there is no reason a dealership should ever put a time contingency on the price of the car. None.
The interesting truth is that if you do leave, they are likely to call you and offer an even lower price. The irony and contradictions found in car dealerships are just mind-boggling.
Red flag number 13. The dealer is unwilling to give you the vehicle history report. If a dealership is unwilling to give you the history report on a used car that you're purchasing, it's definitely time to get up and walk out. The reason why is they're probably playing games with you on their cars. Sadly, most of the time when this happens, it's that the car dealership doesn't sell the nicest of cars.
Red flag number 14, refusal to allow a PPI. That's a pre-purchase inspection, if you didn't know. This one is big. When you buy a used car, it is always a good idea to get a third-party inspection done on the car. There's places like Palm Car and Lemon Squad. They're just two of the providers out there who do pre-purchase inspections. And no, we don't get any kickback for telling you that.
Right.
Whether it's these guys or your own shop, the bottom line is you need a PPI done on a used car. And if a dealership doesn't allow you to do that, here's your sign. It's another huge red flag. Their refusal could be for a couple of different reasons.
And an even bigger problem is that they know there's something wrong with it and they don't want you to find out before you purchase it.
That's right.
Dealers like this are often selling vehicles as is, and you'll have no recourse later if you buy their car.
If you sign an as-is buyer's guide, it clearly states that it is a federal government form regulated by the government. The bottom line is that if you buy a vehicle like this and it breaks in half when you drive off the lot, you're the sad owner of both pieces. Don't ever let this happen to you.
And red flag number 15, cooking the interest rate or a rate hostage situation. This is a sneaky trick pulled in dealer finance. A lot of people fall for it. The finance manager will typically have you sign all your paperwork for your car purchase. And they also go over the extended warranties, and they go over the gap insurance and all the other products that they are salivating to sell you. These salesmen in finance have just one job to do for the dealership, and that's to significantly increase dealer profitability. There's finance managers all over the internet bragging how they are making $3,000 or $4,000 or even more per customer in that back office.
There's a guy by the name of Shaka Dyson here on YouTube, and he trains these finance guys to be total sharks. Finance offices are known for many slimy things, and we've already mentioned a few of them, like making you sign your name on paperwork or on a tablet where you can't see everything spelled out.
Right.
Tell them you're not a tree hugger and you want to see it all on paper and insist that they print it all out.
Oh, there you have it, friends. Seriously, though, there are many more red flags out there. So this is just the tip of the iceberg. But honestly, if you see one or two of these, it's time to leave because there's going to be more.
Shifting gears, I'd like to say that by now, many of you know we've added another coach to help our viewers with hassle-free car buying service. We continue to come out on top in negotiation with dealers on behalf of our viewers. Our hassle-free car buying service is the best thing we've done by a long shot in the last 15 years. It also happens to be the best thing anyone has ever done for car buyers. That includes places like CarEdge and Costco Auto Program. They are basically two peas in a pod. Our service offers nearly triple the savings as compared with competing services out there. Our service is also a heck of a lot faster. If people want to go slower, well, that's fine too, but we have put people into a car just 48 hours after they contacted us for help. We can go that fast if needed. If you're hearing about this car buying service for the first time, go to our website, thehomerguy.com, and read our detailed posting on what it costs and how it all works.
The bottom line is, if you're feeling intimidated by all the nonsense dealers pull, or you just don't have the time or energy to fight with those car dealers out there on your own, just let us know. We're here to step in and help you. And as I mentioned, we are expanding our services with more staff and more help for car buyers.
By the way, you should also know that our service is the only car buying service that also saves you the hassle of negotiating with a finance officer. We have that knowledge firsthand from our newest hire, who happened to work directly for our competitors recently. He came over to join the good guys team, and you might guess where he came from. When we met, he said it was the first time he actually had a chance to meet the people he'd be working for. He also thought it was incredible that only with the Homer Guy team do you, the viewers, get to talk directly with the show host. I personally take every intake call. We don't have layers of bureaucracy between us and our viewers, and we like it that way. You get to talk directly with us, and you always will.
Most importantly, it doesn't matter if you go with somebody like Costco or CarEdge, you get essentially the same kind of mediocre outcome. It's the same poor service from somebody who really doesn't know what they're doing. You'll never get the best available deal, and to add insult to injury, you're still stuck with negotiating with dealer finance officers. And that, my friends, is the worst stop you'll ever make in the dealership. You already know that. We don't ever leave you to the mercy of people like that. We pre-negotiate and coach you through every single step.
Thanks to all of you out there in our audience for coming back. We greatly appreciate your loyalty. And if you want our direct help in your car deal, text Liz today at 701-441-3399. To all of our longtime subscribers, you guys rock. God bless you all. I'm Kevin Hunter, the Homework Guy, home of the only totally hassle-free car buying service, signing off on behalf of the amazing Elizabeth and the entire Homework Guy team. Thanks for listening.